Let's get a chat going with the management of RITES. They have collaborated with Abu Dhabi Ports Group for logistic infra development. Both companies have signed the MoU to explore JVs. MD of RITES join us on the show. Hi, Mr. Mithal. Thanks so much for joining in. Could you quantify the potential of this particular tie-up?
Morning. You see, this is a significant across geographies. And this was a natural partnership between two huge giants in their own field. AD Ports has been in areas of ports, multimodal logistics presence, both domestic and internationally in all areas of infrastructure. So this was a natural partnership, and I think this MoU will give us a huge opportunity, not only in the UAE, the upcoming IMEC corridor, as well as geographies across Middle East and including geographies in Southeast Asia and Africa, where AD Ports is operating in more than 40 countries.
Okay.
So you want to give us a number, sir?
You see, this MoU has been signed recently, and this is covering a large number of areas. So this is it will give us opportunities to collaborate in various sectors, and the coming weeks and months will show specific orders or specific areas where we collaborate together.
But I think we're trying to get at a number because, you know, your current order book is somewhere around 5,500 crores. If you can just help us with some ballpark number on how much this MoU could maybe add to your revenues over the next couple of years. How much can you build on to your current order book?
You see, this MoU is an agreement, is a partnership which will explore the various opportunities in various geographies, as I said. Each case, each opportunity, depending on the size of the consultancy order, the size of the infrastructure which AD Ports would invest in and take our help in the consultancy, would pan out in the coming in the months and quarters. Obviously, as you can appreciate, considering the huge opportunity and the geography that they operate in, and our presence not only in Southeast Asia but Africa, these numbers would be large. But I think it would be premature to speculate on specific numbers. And as and when these specific orders mature in the coming quarters, we'll be sharing that with you.
Okay, all right. You know, Mr. Mithal, we've also heard of an India, Middle East, Europe railway corridor. What role will you be playing in that?
You see, as I said at the outset, the IMEC corridor is a significant, upcoming logistic corridor where our role as a consultant, both at the India end as well as now with partnership with the AD Ports in the Middle East, we would work together in trying to design, trying to help in consultancy in developing this corridor, both at the Indian as well as the Middle East, right up to the Europe. Whether it is the ports, whether it is the feeding rail corridors, whether it is the other infrastructure, the digital infrastructure. So our partnership would extend to developing this corridor right from one end of our ports to the European end.
I'm sure you understand that, you know, we are pushing you to give us some numbers because if you look at the last 5 quarters, your revenues have fallen year on year. So there is definitely some concern that shareholders have about why the revenues are under so much pressure. Hence, we're asking you for numbers. When do you see a recovery in terms of the top line? When do you think you can get back to double-digit growth?
You see, when we started this FY, the two main challenges which we had was our export order book, depleting to literally zero since we had got no fresh export orders in the last about 3 to 4 years, the COVID period and post-COVID. And there was a significant impact on the consultancy of inspection, the inspection stream of revenue from Indian Railways as they opened up to 4 vendors. So this was the challenge at the beginning of this FY. And if you see our last quarter, quarter 3, sequentially, if you see Q2 to Q3, we have achieved 2-3 major milestones. One, we got our first order of about 300 crores from Mozambique for 10 locomotives. Our revenue grew Q2 to Q3 sequentially about 19%. Our EBITDA grew by 30%. And we could tap a number of vendors in the QA stream to, mitigate the impact of the hit from the IR as a client. So as these, and another major milestone, we could achieve our vision of being a one order a day company. We got 100 plus orders in Q3, totaling to more than 600 crores. So as these orders mature into revenue in the coming FY, we would see a substantial growth in our EBITDA vis-a-vis our baseline of 22-23. And 23-24 would be a year of consolidation, trying to reach as close to 22-23.
Okay, all right. What about, there was a Zimbabwean order also, I think, of around 850 crores, but there's political turmoil out there. Could you tell us what is the update over there, and when can you expect the final LOA?
You see, we signed an agreement with Zimbabwe a few months back, and we did not add it to our order book, as you correctly said, because we were waiting for the final clearances of the funding. It's moving in the right direction, and we are hopeful that it should mature in the coming Q1. Parallelly, we have been declared L1 in a Bangladesh 200 coach order. This was a global tender for about 900 crores. And we are hoping that it will mature into a finite LOI in the coming weeks.
Right, so got that. So by Q1, we should be hearing about that Zimbabwean order. And I think the quantum was around 850 crores. So we'll wait by for that. Also, the market got very excited when it understood that RITES is in talks with Latin American countries like Chile to export Vande Bharat trains from India. Could you tell us, is there any conversation on that front? What stage of the conversation are we at?
You see, as I've been saying, Vande Bharat is a world-class product which is definitely evoking interest, especially in few Latin American countries, because the gauge, the broad gauge, is common to our gauge. So it's easier to customize the product for their network. And we've been in touch with Chile and other 2-3 Latin American countries. We are looking at some finite movement, but as I said, these are early days because they already have a certain type of rolling stock being used. We're trying to induct this as an introductory rolling stock, and we are hoping that we should be able to see some positive movement in the coming year.
All right, we'll leave it there, sir. Thank you very much for your time. Great speaking with you here on CNBC TV 18, and good luck. Hope to have you back again soon.